to Meet Me in St. Louis, presented by the Manhasset High School Theater Department. Now, if you've had a chance to look through your programs, you might have realized that there's a Meet Me in St. Louis quiz printed on page 1. Now, I bet when you walked into the audience this evening, you were not expecting to be tested. Right, were you? I didn't think so. Well, ready or not, we're going to be asking you a series of questions both now and throughout the evening while we share with you some songs from the classic movie version of Meet Me in St. Louis.
As many of you may know, Meet Me in St. Louis takes place in the city of... Where else? St. Louis. In the week right before the World's Fair is set to open up there. With that being said, the first couple of questions are going to focus a lot on World's Fair. Question 1. In what city was the first World's Fair held? Was it A, Paris, B, London, C, Prague, or D, Manhasset?
Paris.
Let's try that again with a show of hands. Who says A, Paris?
Me.
All right, quite a few of you. Who says B, London? Almost none of you. Okay. Okay. C, Prague? I assume no one even knows where Prague is. Okay. And D, Manhasset?
I was there.
Okay.
Well, if you guessed A, Paris, you would be correct. In 1844, nearly 4,000 exhibitors presented their homemade inventions and crafts at the French Industrial Exposition, which happened to be one of the first World Fairs. Many people consider it that. In the French king? Yeah, the French king, Louis Philippe. That was his name, right? Yeah, that was his name. Louis Philippe? Yes. He was so impressed by this fair that he came back every Monday until the fair closed 2 months later. Every Monday. One of the presenters at the Paris Fair was Adolphe Sax, who invented the sax horns, which were precursors to the flugelhorn, euphonium, and you guessed it, the saxophone. The first digital mechanical calculator, as well as what we now know as the Baccarat crystal, were invented here.
Now, for all you people who have been paying attention out in the audience tonight, you may have noticed we said that many people consider the first World's Fair to have been held in Paris, but not all. So for those of you who raise your hand for choice B, London, you too would also be correct. Some historians consider the first World's Fair to have been held in London in 1851. Called the Great Exhibition of the Works of Industry in All Nations, it was brainchild of Prince Albert, husband of Queen Victoria, and was widely considered to have been the first international exhibition of all manufactured products in the world.
If you chose C, Prague, you wouldn't be wrong either. There was a ton of political wheeling and dealing at that fair, which made choosing different ones extremely difficult. Wikipedia lists the Prague Fair of 1791 as the first World's Fair.
Now, if you guessed D, Manhasset, you would be flat out wrong. But don't worry, you can give yourself an extra point for hometown loyalty. Now let's take a look at question number 2. At the St. Louis World's Fair, almost all of the buildings were intended to be temporary structures that would stand for only a year or two. They were built from plaster of Paris and hemp. Only one of the buildings was intended to be permanent, and today serves as the art museum. The 1964 New York City World's Fair still has many permanent structures still standing today, including the Unisphere, a 12-story tall globe. In what borough of New York City can the Unisphere be seen today?
Queens.
All right, a show of hands. For A, Manhattan, B, Queens, C, Brooklyn, or D, Staten Island.
Now, here's a big hint. The Unisphere can be seen from both the Long Island Expressway as well as from the Long Island Port Washington train. So if you guess B, Queens, you'd be correct and you can give yourself a point. Now on to question 3. The World's Fair still takes place every 2 years under which name? Let's see what you guys got with the show of hands. Is it A, Exhibition, B, Expo, C, Extravaganza, or D, Epcot? The correct answer is B, Expo. When most people think of big fairs, they think of things like carnival rides and finger foods, and they wouldn't be wrong. In fact, if you believe in the popular tales, more foods were invented at the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis than during any other single event in history, including hamburgers, hot dogs, iced tea, peanut butter, and even the ice cream cone, just to name a few. Although these foods weren't introduced at the fair, they became wildly popular during these events throughout the years. However, the main purpose of the World Fair, or the Expo, is to propose expositions of cutting-edge technology from all across the world.
And that takes us to question number 4. In what country was the most recent fair or expo held in 2017? A. India, B. Kazakhstan, C. Iceland, or D. Denmark? The 2017 expo was held in the city of Astana, Kazakhstan, so if you said B, give yourself a point. And in case you're interested in going, the next expo will be in Beijing, China, only 2 years from now. Now here's our final question before we start the first act. In what year was the St. Louis World's Fair? A. 1904, B. 1928, C. 1946, or D. 1977?
1928.
The St. Louis World's Fair was held in 1904, the same time in which our play takes place, which is also why one of the most famous songs from the movie Meet Me in St. Louis goes like this. We hope you'll sing along.
Alright, Anna, I want you to listen to me. It's been the best thing for both of us, and it made in my mind, and we're just gonna have to go through with it.
Hi, Dad.
Oh, God.
Could you advance me another $1?
You're already 2 weeks behind. Where's your mother?
Helping Kitty in the kitchen.
Oh.
Shall I call her?
No, never mind.
Hey, that's a big box of chocolates you got there. What have you been up to?
Where are your sisters?
Around. What is it, Dad?
Wait till we're all together.
But you can tell me.
Wait till we're all together.
Not even a hint.
It's alright, Mommy. There's nothing to worry about. At least, you shouldn't be the one to worry about it.
Whatever you say.
took me all over the fairgrounds. They nearly finished a transportation palace in the colony to the States. But the whole World Fair isn't nearly as big as where Grandma used to live when she was queen.
Now, we weren't going to talk about that.
Oh, she told me about it years ago. Grandma was the big cheese. And I hate when people are small about things. I mean, don't you think it's awful how small some people can be?
What do you mean, small?
I mean, Grandma. She left me $1.
That's a word that gets used a lot around here. I'm speaking about the word lend.
Gosh, thanks. Reminds me to pay it back when I get my allowance.
Grandma, you're just fooling me about once being a real queen, aren't you?
Now, why would I fool my own granddaughter?
But you never told me before, and I've known you all your life.
Oh, why, this was long before you were born. Why, I used to eat off of gold plates. And I ate whatever I wanted. Some days, it would be that I expressed my desire for candy, and candy it would be. Other days, I'd want nothing but chocolate cake.
Golly.
Or it might be that I expressed my desire for fresh watermelons in midwinter. And fresh watermelons would be brought to me from my runners from thousands of miles away. Oh, it's 5. Your mother won't like that we've stayed so long.
What do you care what she thinks? You're a queen.
But that makes your mother a princess. You can't get too slippery with them. They're pretty high and mighty.
If she's a princess, then what am I?
You'd be a duchess. You see, I would have made your mother the queen if she hadn't married your father. He's just a commoner. So one day I made your sister Rose the queen. Not when she was too much older than you are now.
I think Rose is dumb. All she thinks is about her boys. She was waiting at the pavilion for John Shepherd, only she wouldn't admit it.
Oh, just the same, I think Rose makes a pretty good queen.
Mom, I'm gonna come back to Lucille later.
I think Lucille's a pain.
She is not.
Why bring her here?
Because maybe I want her to meet the folks.
What for?
Because maybe I just do.
She's so stuck up. Why does she think she's so wonderful? I wouldn't marry a girl who thought she was so wonderful. I wouldn't marry a girl named Lucille.
Who's getting married? Nobody said anything about getting married.
Calm down, Tootie.
And you be nice to her when I bring her over.
I won't.
You better.
I'll jump up from behind the sofa and bite her leg.
If you do, I'll shake you till your teeth rattle.
Go ahead. Kill me.
You're just a runny-nosed little brat.
Sometimes you go too far, Tootie. You're all right till you go too far.
Ida Boothby used to read stories to me. She's much nicer than Lucille.
Oh, I can't say as I blame Lon for wanting to shake you.
I think I'm gonna get a dish of cream for Lady Babby.
That cat of yours has been sharpening her claws on my chair again.
When you were queen, didn't you have hundreds of cats?
Cats? I had griffins. They're half lion and half eagle, and you call them griffins. Now they were something.
Lady Babby! Lady Babby! Lady Babby! Have you seen her, Katie?
A while back, she got in my way. And so I kicked her down the cellar stairs.
No!
And I could hear her spine hit on every step.
If you call me Lady Babby, I'll stab you to death in your sleep. I'll tie you to horses till your pulls apart.
Won't that be terrible then? Get on to the kitchen. Your cat's eating a can of sardines.
She is? Lady Babby! Are you sure you didn't just miss it?
I was standing there for a full 30 minutes. Is that a box of candy, Katie?
Looks like one. Shakes like one too.
Is there a card?
Are you
see one?
Are you expecting an apology already?
No, but maybe he sent one anyway. I mean, there's a certain type of person that when he can't keep an appointment with another person, he sends along something with his apologies.
That should apologize for a whole lot.
No card.
If John Shepherd sent him, he'd have written something.
I assure you that it doesn't matter to me in the least. I hate, loathe, despise, abominate, and abhor John Shepherd.
That settles him then. Oh, we're having chicken fricassee for dinner tonight, and I saved the hearts for you.
Wonderful. I couldn't eat a thing.
Course ya can!
Honestly, I'm just not hungry.
Glory be!
Of all the idiotic things, the World's Fair about to start. People from St. Louis, people from all over the world coming to St. Louis. And you're worrying about John Shepherd?
I'm not. You must be out of your mind.
I wonder who did send the candy.
I only know that if John had sent it, I'd have sent it right back. Never mind. I'll see. This is Wagha.
I suppose you expected a bunch of boys.
No,
I suppose you thought I'd put up with anything.
I didn't suppose at all.
Call your mother.
I'll get her.
We'll just see about this.
About what, Mrs. Walkoff?
You know perfectly well.
There she is, Mama.
Yes, Mrs. Walkoff? It isn't enough that Judy ruined my lawn, or that last Halloween they threw flour all over my best dress. What's happened now? Your daughter Agnes ran right across my flower beds, dragging some sort of scarecrow.
Scarecrow?
Right directly across. The sweet peas are ruined. If you aren't moving away, I get a bulldog for our yard.
Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but we aren't moving anywhere.
But I heard that
You're quite mistaken.
Of all ideas. Come on, Rose. Let's fill some paper bags with water and drop them out the window.
Rose, you see, that's just the way they are.
She was just joking.
We weren't joking. Beware, Mrs. Woghoff.
I'm going to get that bulldog. This little hoodlums.
I'm not a hoodlum. I'm a duchess. Aren't I a duchess, Mother?
Of course you are.
I hate Mrs. Walcott.
Mustn't hate anyone. I do wonder where she got the idea that we were... Well, what in the world?
Open it up! Lady Babby likes chocolate-covered cherries.
I'm not sure it's for me. Lon,
Yes?
where did this come from?
Me?
It's such a lovely box. Page and Shaw. No party? Birthday? Anniversary?
Cat got your tongue, Papa?
I bet you've got a raise!
Well, I have, in a way.
Why, Lon, that's wonderful.
Yes, it is wonderful.
Does that mean I get more allowance?
Why don't you go see if you can locate Agnes?
Come on, Lady Babby.
Lon, what is all this?
Anna, I want you to listen to me.
I am.
I don't want you to go flying up in the air. There's nothing to lose your head over.
I won't. Lon, what is it?
It's going to be all right. I know there'll be a lot of work for you and a lot of upset, but in the end, I believe it'll be the wise thing.
What will be the wise thing?
Try to explain.
Now, Lon, I don't know what you're talking about. See, here I am as calm as a cucumber, and you're shaking like I don't know what.
I haven't mentioned it before, but there's been some talk downtown lately about sending me to New York.
New York?
And today it was decided they send me.
Oh. We can only live without you for so long. I hope you won't have to stay so long that you'll miss the opening of the World's
You
Fair.
don't understand. I mean, they want to send me to New York for good. To be head of the New York office.
I don't believe it. Lon, I don't believe it.
It's true. They were thinking of sending Duffy, but they thought he wasn't reliable enough.
Lon!
I'm to start a week from Saturday, and I'd like you and the children to follow as soon as you can.
New York, why? New York is a city. Not that St. Louis isn't big. It just doesn't seem to get where we live, but why? New York, well, what will the children do?
Well, the same as they do here. Go to school, play, have their friends over.
What friends? Their friends are here.
Well, they go into school.
But Rose is graduating this year. What about her graduation? And Tootie is doing so well. She's sure to be promoted. When they move, they put you back a grade.
They don't.
I'm sure it's true. And Esther's going to be a senior. She's been dying to be a senior right here in her own class with her own school. And then there's Agnes
There's
and
no
Laura.
point in discussing it any further. We're going to have to move.
Now I see what that awful Mrs. Woghaw was talking about. She knew we were going to move before I did.
Duffy's a brother-in-law. Probably he told her.
It makes me so ashamed.
Anna!
What is there about it that makes you so willing to move us lock, stock, and barrel to a perfectly strange place?
Now listen, Anna. I've got a future to think about. Lon's in college. Next year, Esther will be ready for college, too. Rose has some blasted notion about a finishing school. I'm over Tootie and Agnes and all fussing around.
Lon!
I want to know where the money's going to come from.
Will you get so much more pay?
About a third more than now, and if I build up a good business there, it might lead to anything.
But this is our home. And the whole wonderful fair is about to start. They say there's never been anything like it in the world before. Why people are coming from France, England, even China, just to see it. And just at that moment, you want us to pack up
It means better business. That's more important.
Lon, even if there was no World's Fair or anything like that, this is where we belong. I can't even imagine us anywhere else but here.
We're just going to have to get used to the idea.
And what about Katie? She's been with us since Rose was born. And my mother, what about her? What will she do?
Anna, those are all things we could talk about later. All right? Will you break the news to the girls?
I can't.
Anna, please.
I couldn't. You'll have to tell them yourself.
In that case, I I might as well shave before dinner. It's for the best, Anna. Really.
I thought you might want to make the gravy yourself, Mom.
You know, Katie, I think I could lay my finger on any object in this house blindfolded.
What in the world would you want to do that for?
Katie, do you have the chicken hearts?
Oh, I put him up for Lady Babby. Couldn't get it on.
Oh, never mind. I'll see. Hello, Ida. Lonnie's out.
There's something I want to tell your sister. It's important.
Rose, someone to see you.
Me?
Yes.
Oh. Hello, Ida.
Thought it would be someone else. I was merely curious, and I'm very glad to see you. Guess Lonnie's out.
I think men are abominable.
I don't think so.
Rose is right.
Well, for one, I don't think Fred Gregory is very vulnerable.
That's because you're too young to know any better.
I'm just a year and 3 months younger than you are.
It is a good thing I remembered these, or your mother would have put them in the gravy.
Oh, swell.
Chicken hearts.
And what you two have in mind with them, I can't imagine.
Yes, you're not going to do anything so silly.
I certainly am, and you promised too.
You're going to swallow them whole?
I am.
But no one believes in that anymore.
Grandma says it's true. When you swallow a chicken heart, you marry the next man you shake hands with. She says that's how Great Aunt Martha came to marry Great Uncle Herbert.
But suppose someone awful was to show up?
I just crawfish out of shaking hands. Here goes.
Yes!
I vow solemnly to marry the next man I shake hands with.
I've never seen anything so calm in my life.
It went down like a big capsule.
I'd never do anything so childish.
You're just afraid John Shepard wouldn't be the first boy you shake hands with.
He'd be the last.
I don't see why you're so scared.
I'm not the least bit afraid of anything so nonsensical. There.
Now you've both done it.
It doesn't mean the least thing.
Oh gosh.
Better let me answer. It's safer. Fred Gregory!
Oh
Miss Boothby?
Hello, Fred. S was just talking about you.
You were? What did you say?
I was not.
Well, Miss Esther?
Go away, Fred Gregory, go away! I'm warning you!
Have I done something wrong?
No, but
If I have, I apologize.
Really, S, where are your manners?
You know I would never do anything to offend you, and if I have, I apologize.
You haven't done anything, it's just that...
Won't you even shake my hand?
I guess I can't help it. But don't say I didn't warn you.
Well, I just stopped by to remind you about the dance next Saturday. Maybe I could pick you up early and we could go watch the big fireworks display for the opening of the fair.
Wonderful!
Maybe you and your date should like to come
My
make it a
plans
party.
aren't very definite yet.
We can see about it later.
Swell then. I'll be seeing you then. Bye.
You certainly will.
Sure.
I think you're very brazen.
Well, in view of the circumstances...
You're like an old maid.
Oh, don't feel that way, Ida. Lonnie doesn't actually care about that Lucille.
I think Lucille sweeps the boys off their feet with her Eastern accent.
I've got a good mind to talk to Lonnie about
If I could say anything to John Shepard for you.
it. John?
Oh. I saw him with Lucille.
John? With Lucille? John?
A tent! That's what I came to tell you about.
Ida, you're positive it was John?
Lucille was smiling at him as to show her dimples.
So that's it.
It doesn't mean anything.
Remember, she's from New York. All right, I gotta go home.
Thanks for telling me, Ida. You're a true friend.
I think there'd be enough men in New York.
Now I understand why he didn't meet us this afternoon. Now I understand everything.
But you're not sure.
Of course I am. Wish I told Harry that I'd go to the dance with him.
Harry looks like a dish of melted strawberry ice cream.
Just the same, he's not the sort of person who'd be having a tete with girls from New York. He's not the sort of person that would... I hate John Shepard. I despise him.
Rose, something's happened to Agnes.
What?
Where is she? She's all banged up. She's mutilated.
Mutilated?
Agnes!
What happened?
He almost killed her.
He pushed me, and he shoved me, and he's a big brute.
Who did?
And he made me chew my tooth.
Who hit you? Who?
John Shepard.
No.
It was.
But he couldn't pick on a little girl.
I think kill her.
He did! Agnes, are you sure?
Of course she's sure.
Why, he doesn't stop at anything. Why, the mean-speaking, contemptible bully.
What's that in your hand? It happened when we had our fight.
It's hair. Good for you, Agnes.
She must have pulled pretty hard because most of it still is the
It
roots.
serves him right. I never knew anyone that could be so low. I never hated anyone so much in my life. I just like to beat the jelly out of him. Why, the low down the... John Shepherd.
So there she is.
Did you expect to find her in a morgue?
Oh gosh, Rose,
Don't speak to me.
I don't understand.
Oh, well, maybe you'll understand this.
Rose!
You didn't try to kill Agnes.
You bully!
Have you lost your mind? No. Throw the lamp, I'm going.
And never come back.
This is the thanks I get.
You shouldn't have picked on Agnes.
I didn't pick on
Go
her.
away. Just go away.
Don't worry, I'm going, but I didn't pick on her.
You shouldn't have tried to drag me away. Drag you away from what? He stopped us from having any fun. What kind of fun? With her dummy.
It looks like a real person.
You know where that sharp turn is down the road?
He interfered.
They tried to arrange that stuffed dummy to look like a real person had been run down in the middle of the street.
I hope your stuff
I had an awful time. She ripped out half my hair, and now you...
I was going to wait till somebody drove past and then shout, hit and run, hit and run.
Oh, well, that would have been peachy.
You should have told me why.
You're such a queen, you never listen to anyone.
But I didn't realize
I was dashing to meet you at the pavilion. You don't suppose I like having to battle your sister?
You were coming to meet me?
I told you there was some reason.
Of course, but my folks made me so late, and then Agnes...
You son of me! Oh, no! Clean your face.
I was going to do it anyway. I think Agnes is very brave.
The little devils.
John, I don't know what to say.
Well, there's not much to say when a girl slugs a fellow a few times and almost throws a lamp at him.
John, I want to apologize. I've made a terrible mistake. And I'm willing to shake hands. Rose, remember? I don't care. We have to make up.
Well, I don't know. The way you acted and everything.
You mean you...
Well...
You'll never get another chance!
What did I do now?
I was right about you in the first place. You're nothing but a hateful brute!
I guess I just don't understand women.
I wish you'd leave.
Oh, hi. I guess you know Lucille Pentard?
Oh, I've met your sisters.
And this is John Shepherd.
Hello, Lucille.
John and I are good friends.
I was just going, actually.
Not on my account, I hope.
I should say not.
Are the folks around? I want Lucille to...
They're getting ready for dinner. We're going to eat very soon.
Truly.
Well, we are.
Perhaps I'd better be going along.
No, please.
I happen to be taking a trolley in the same direction.
Lucille, won't you stay with us? We'd love to have you. Wouldn't we?
We can't. There's not enough for company.
Truly.
There's hardly enough for us to eat, and I'm very hungry.
It's sweet of you to ask me, but I wouldn't want to deprive you. I think I'll take advantage of Mr. Shepherd's kind offer.
Well, come along then. You'll be sorry.
Bye.
I'll come too.
I'm glad he's gone. I had a very narrow escape. Suppose I'd shaken hands with him.
You're extremely lucky.
Just found out in the nick of time.
That Lucille's a double pain, even triple.
Rose?
You're not mad at me. Not really?
I should say not. I just wish you'd pull out all his hair.
You do?
I'd like to do it myself.
Agnes, where'd you leave the dummy?
In back of Kupelmeyer's store.
What are you up to? You don't want her to get away with it. No, but I have a wonderful idea. But I have to run. Wait a minute. Rose, you want me to?
I guess so.
Rose, it is a right! Yay! Maybe you shouldn't have let her go.
Why not?
It wasn't John's fault entirely.
You saw the way he made up to Lucille, and what Ida saw too. The night of the dance, I'm going to give him back his class pin.
You have class pins from too many boys anyway.
I'm going to give his back, and he's going to feel terrible about it.
Why?
I'll get to the dance early, looking like a type. I'll come as a queenly type and fill up my dance card with none left for him.
But Lucille is the queenly type too, and I don't think you can be as queenly as a girl from New York who's had lots of
practice. I can wear my dress with a pink sash just as I plan, but I won't have to wear my corsage on my waistline. I'll wear flowers in my hair and carry Mama's ivory fan.
What would you do with a fan?
I'll use it to look different.
I'm just going to act vibrant and swish my skirts a lot.
I'll make Lucille a free gift of John, and he'll be feeling miserable. I'll come dancing by with all sorts of boys, laughing and chatting as if I didn't care a thing.
I guess you'll feel bad then.
Hello, girls. Mama, can I borrow your ivory fan for the dance week from Saturday?
Of course.
And your Chicky perfume just a touch.
It's a special occasion bottle, Mama.
It's only a dance.
It's important.
It is.
The way they talk, there's nothing more important.
Some things are.
Is anything the matter?
What is it?
Ask your father.
Oh, I thought later when we're all together.
But they're making all sorts of plans for the future.
What is it, Papa?
Tell us!
Now hold your horses.
Your father has some important news for you.
It's... Well, we're moving to New York.
We're moving to New York to live.
If you'll excuse me, I'll go pack my things.
You're not packing anything yet.
Move to New York! I've never seen the place and I never want to! Papa, why? Why?
It's for the best.
After all, it means more money and you want to go to college.
Money! I hate, loathe, despise, abominate, and abhor money!
We don't know a soul in New York! Besides, it's a well-known fact that Eastern girls are snobs!
And what about the World's Fair?
Just when it's about to begin, and just when St. Louis will be the center of attraction of the entire universe. I'd like to see the ocean.
Don't be silly. It will look a bit different from Lake Michigan, and we see that every summer.
It'll look different to me.
Of course, there are all kinds of advantages if you'd only think about them calmly.
There are so many reasons why we can't go, Papa.
I'd like to. You talk like an imbecile, Agnes. Besides, I think it's important to think of what'll happen to Lady Babby. She's your cat, too.
Lady Babby will come with us in a silk lined basket.
And where are you going to keep her in New York? Cooped up in a tenement? Don't they have houses in New York?
Of course they do.
Yes, but we'll probably live in a flat. You know that, Papa.
There are hundreds of flats in one building, and they have landlords.
Wait a minute.
I guess I won't pack my things then. I like it here, all right. Besides, I don't want to miss the World's Fair.
Well, you're just gonna have to get used to the idea.
I won't go. You have no right to ask us to.
And I won't either.
There's no point in discussing it any further. We're going to have to do it.
Your father's word is law. I spoke with Katie and she said she could never leave St. Louis and neither will my mother.
You mean Grandma's not coming with us?
Maybe not, but...
Papa, we can't leave here while all our friends are here, and
we have plans and things to do.
It's true, Mom. Why everyone we love is here.
I know that, Anna, but we have other problems and other considerations. If we stay here...
Oh, can't we, Papa?
We could save money. We could eat fish and everything that's cheapest.
And when Mama said it's true, I couldn't stand it if we had to leave now. Everything would be ruined. Everything!
What would be ruined, Rose?
It would. Honestly, it would.
I did it! Rose, it worked better than I ever hoped.
Tootie!
What worked? What did you do?
Uh-oh.
And that's another thing. The children just run wild around here. Look at a more civilized place like New York, they'd settle down.
That's not true.
The children do no more harm than any other children.
Now she did it. Just after I asked you politely and called me like a civilized person, and then she rushes right out and does it.
Does what?
She ran right across my flowers, across once and then back again. They're completely ruined. I'm going to report this. I just won't tolerate it any longer. One more time, she runs across my flowers.
Lonnie?
Here.
Lonnie,
Where's Tootie? Have you gone completely crazy?
what happened?
What is it?
She just propped up a dummy in the middle of the trolley tracks.
What? Rose told me it was all right.
You did?
Well, I didn't realize that she was gonna
The trolley was derailed.
Derailed?
Oh, no!
Is anyone hurt?
They are mad.
I should think so. What made you tell Tootie to do an insane thing like that?
I didn't realize that she was going to do that, Papa. Believe me.
Have you lost your senses? Why? Why?
There you are.
There's just no limit to those girls.
Rose told me to do it.
Were you trying to kill me?
No, John, I didn't realize that they were going to do that. I didn't.
That's
it!
So they do no more harm than any of the children? They don't need to calm down at all, do they? My mind's made up!
First, my hair is yanked out. Then you slap me twice and almost throw a lamp at me. Now they're derailing trolleys.
They're the worst on the block.
Hell hath no fury like a...
John!
Have no swearing.
Here, you damn anarchists! They ought to ride you out of town on a rail!
There's no need. This family's moving to New York just as fast as we can.
No! Papa, no!
Welcome back. Before we start the second act, we'd like to continue with our quiz and sing you another song for the movie. Yeah, good plot. So question 6. Meet Me in St. Louis was originally published as a series of short stories in which of the following magazines? Was it A, the Saturday Evening Post? All right. Was it B, Life? C, the New Yorker? Or D, Reader's Digest? The correct answer was C, the New Yorker. So if you said that, give me some point.
Okay, so question 7. Meet Me in St. Louis was the second highest grossing film in what year? A, 1934. B, 1944. C, 1964. And D, 1954. If you chose B, your answer was correct, 1944. Only Going My Way, another classic musical, made more money than Meet Me in St. Louis that year. However, here's another song that made Meet Me in St. Louis such a big hit. It's called The Boy Next Door, and it features senior Emily Cruz.
The moment I saw him smile, I knew he was just my style. My only regret is that we've never met, though I dream of him all the while. And he doesn't know I exist, no matter how hard I persist. And it's clear to see there's no hope for me, though I live at 5135 Kensington Avenue and he lives at 5133. How could I ignore the boy next door? I love him more than I can say. Doesn't try to please me, doesn't even tease me, and he never sees me glance his way. And though I'm heart sore, the boy next door affections for me won't display. I just adore him, so I can't ignore him. The boy next door. How can I ignore the boy next door? Affections for me won't display. Doesn't try to please me, doesn't even tease me, and he never sees me glance his way. And though I'm heart sore, the boy next door
actions for me will display. I just adore him, so I can't ignore him. The
I might go down and look at the mud puddle back at Pumpkinmeyer's store. What for? To see if it's still big as it was yesterday? But I suppose if we're going to move, it doesn't make a difference anyway.
I wish you wouldn't talk about it.
Where'd you slip off to?
I was so upset. I went down to a plow and I had 2 sundaes. But I needed something to settle my stomach, so I had a cherry phosphate.
How do you feel now?
I still feel upset.
Why is Papa doing this to us?
He's doing what he thinks is best. Why don't you help yourself to some candy?
Because I refuse to be bought off. And so do I.
You're not being bought off.
Besides, it's mostly caramels. They're all oblong.
Well, the only way to be sure is to squeeze them.
Like this.
Mmm, lemon cream.
I haven't found one.
What an awful way to pick them out.
Here's how I do it. Like this. Caramel.
And cream!
Tootie!
It's the only way to be sure.
I don't see how you can stand to touch it.
I couldn't really, but I can't stand touching it either unless you something.
One bite would make me choke. Here, I'd rather starve. Mother, can't we do something? Are we just gonna be dragged out of our home like Huguenots?
Or worse?
Your father...
Papa isn't the only one in this family. There's a whole lot of us.
That's right. He does feel better that he can do better for us by going to New York.
I could tell Papa a few things about the way Ida's brother acted when he came home from New York. He was perfectly wicked at heart. Ida told me his room is full of pictures of ballet girls in tights. And his prized possession is a picture of a clown girl with one garter on.
I don't think it'll have the same effect on your father.
Where's Grandma run off to?
I'm not sure. She might have gone down to the store.
I wanted to give her some candy.
I know. It's a lovely box. Before you girls started at it.
Do you want some, Mama?
I'm okay, thank you.
Mama, do you know where Papa suddenly ran off to?
I think he went out for a walk or maybe something about a phone call. I'm not sure.
Phone call.
Maybe too. You girls are quite the handful.
Grandma, can't you talk to Papa? Oh no, New York isn't such a bad place. Then will you come with us? Oh, you see, New York is more of a place for the people who like that sort of place. I think I'll just stay around here somewhere.
Can I stay with you?
And me!
You're going to New York with the rest of the family.
Ooh. Ooh. Looks like a flock of blackbirds have been at that candy.
Grandma, where did Papa suddenly go? Didn't he say anything to you?
Something about a phone call.
I was going to make him listen to me. I was going to make him understand.
The Queen. The Queen speaks.
A joke about kings and queens, but always makes me feel better.
Mama, I'm gonna miss Grandma so.
I just can't picture not living here. Golly, I remember when the maples were a lot smaller and the street wasn't nearly so shady.
And when Grandma brought home that hammock!
I remember when you were so little you could squeeze through that hole in the fence.
Remember when I fell out of the cherry tree?
No other place could be like this. Not for us. It's a shame we have to leave just as the peach tree is taking root and the little sepal pear too.
There's Papa! Let's have it out with with him.
You'll do nothing of the sort.
I haven't you certainly look innocent enough.
What is it?
I was talking with the trolley people.
Oh, that.
Yes, that happens to be costing us $50.
$50?
Gosh.
Good thing they're not sending us all in jail.
Just for derailing a trolley?
Yes, just for derailing a trolley.
Well, trolley shouldn't jump off the track so easily.
That has nothing to do with it. And that $50 is coming out of your allowances.
What?
Yours to pay off!
Maybe they'll calm you down a little for New York.
That's exactly what we wanted to take up with you.
There's nothing to take up. It's settled. Unless your mischief this afternoon hasn't ruined everything.
Ruined everything?
Oh, Mrs. Walcott didn't lose a minute getting to his brother-in-law, Duffy, and he'd like to break his neck to getting to the boss with it.
Did you talk to Mr. Dodge about it?
That's what has me worried.
What did he say? Maybe now he won't send us to New York.
If he doesn't, I'll paddle you so hard and more than make up for all the times I missed.
What was it he said?
That pet saying of his. If a man can't manage his own family, he can't manage anything. It's very pointed about the way he said it, too.
What did he mean?
What he meant was that it's time I cracked down. He reminded me again that he picked me ahead of Duffy because he thought I was more reliable.
It's all Mrs. Walcott's fault. She hates us.
All she did was tell Duffy. He'd have found out anyways.
I'm gonna dig a tunnel out from the terrace till I reach Mrs. Walcott's steps. Then, one day when she's walking on her lawn, I'm gonna jump out and bite her leg.
It would take months to dig that
I
tunnel.
don't care how long it takes, just so I could jump out and bite her leg.
Don't talk nonsense. We'll be leaving for New York pretty soon.
Even if it takes 6 months, I won't leave until the tunnel's finished.
Don't use that impudent tone with your father.
It's not impudent. You were just stating a fact. She's not going to be dragged out of her home.
And I feel the same way.
Won't you even listen to us?
A person slaps her best beau round for no reason
Please,
and gets a little
Father.
sister to derail a trolley? Why should I listen? There's no point in discussing it any further. Come along, Anna. I want to talk with you.
Just can't be all settled and decided. It just can't be.
Just remember, what worries your father is that he wants to give you heaven on earth, and it's just that sometimes a person has to do what he thinks is right for others, even when they might not realize it at the time.
Why'd you have to go and derail that trolley?
I did it to help you, even if you don't realize it.
You wanted to get even John, didn't you? Not like that.
You made everything worse, much worse. I wish I did more. You're out of your head. When Papa's boss heard about the trolley, he almost decided not to send Papa to New York. Suppose he made it worse.
Say.
All we need is one more big heave-ho, and Mr. Dodge will send Duffy instead of Papa.
Remember what he said about if a man can't even manage his own family?
Suppose.
Stop right there.
They'll burn his house down. Burn his house down.
No, Judy. Why don't you get started on that tunnel?
I hardly ate any dinner at all. I left some chicken root.
I don't feel like I could ever eat again.
Holy Mary! What has become of us all?
Are you coming with us, Katie?
I couldn't leave St. Louis.
But what'll we do without you?
I expect to find someone else soon enough.
We don't want anybody else.
No one could take your place. Seems like a queer time to be leaving St. Louis. Everyone else is coming for the fair. I can tell you that your grandmother is not going. I haven't seen her so upset in 15 years.
What'll Grandma do when we're all gone?
We were fine just the way we were. Everything was fine. Now the whole family's busting up.
I saved some drumsticks for you. Better eat something.
And I still need something to settle my stomach.
I think Katie was here even before I was.
Even before me.
What are you writing?
It's a pretty hard letter. John Shepherd. I'm explaining that I didn't mean for him to get hurt on that trolley, and on the contrary, I've always had a high regard for him. But in view of everything, I never want to see him again in my whole life. And even if I did, we're leaving so soon for New York, so we better call pretty quick. So I can give him this clasp pin back.
That is a pretty hard letter.
Once, he told me he admired my handwriting.
Oh. Think about how I feel at Fred, with the shaking hands and the chicken hearts and all.
That doesn't mean anything. Not really, I mean.
Just the same.
Did I ever tell you that John Shepard can do 120-yard low hurdles in 16 3/5 seconds?
No.
Well, he can.
That's pretty fast.
I say.
Isn't life just awful? I mean, your chances of meeting anyone in New York with qualifications like that, they can't be too good.
Tootie and Agnes are right. They're not giving in. They're fighting back.
They cause a lot of trouble.
The way Papa talks, it looks like we won't even be here for the opening of the World's Fair.
We can't help it.
The fireworks will be going off. There'll be rockets and pinwheels and Roman candles. The dance will be starting. And we'll be sitting alone in a little New York flat. An awful little New York flat!
Rose!
And you're not willing to do one thing to stop it!
There's nothing we can do!
You're supposed to fight for your home, aren't you? That's what all the books say. Well, this is our home, isn't it?
And we want to stay here!
Always! Always! Yeah! And that is final. Hello? My father's upstairs. I'll call him. Me? I'm Rose. What is it, Mr. Dog? Papa's boss! Are we excited about moving to New York? I should say not. Careful! What do you mean? Trying to make us leave our home and go to a terrible place like that? I want to tell you that you're not getting away with it. We're not going. You might as well just send Mr. Duffy instead because... What? What? Mr. Dodge? Mr. Dodge? He hung up.
Are you crazy? Have you lost your mind?
Yes, I got carried away. Now what'll happen?
What did he say?
He sounded pretty upset. He said he'd be over to talk with Papa.
Now you've done it.
Maybe I should call him back.
No! Don't you see?
See what?
Now's our chance.
It's perfect.
Now we could show him.
Show him what?
How Papa can't manage his own family.
And if he can't manage his own family...
You'll do nothing of the sort. Ooh, how about some water bombs? There are some paper bags in the kitchen and that'll turn out like the trolley.
You heard Papa say that Mr. Dodge almost called the whole thing off because of what happened to the trolley.
And with one more big heave-ho.
Don't
you dare.
You have to think of some other way.
What's better than a water bomb?
Nothing's better.
But you're not going to do that.
Come on, Trudy. Remember what Mama said. Sometimes people have to do what they think is best for other people, even though they don't realize it at the time.
We'll figure out something. They'll figure out something all right, something horrible.
Why'd I have to say all that to Mr. Dodge?
Better think what you'll tell him once he gets here.
Maybe I should tell him that I got into Katie's cooking sherry by mistake.
That'd be even worse. Don't be silly. It couldn't be him yet. But it is for you, Rose.
Hello, S. Hello, Rose.
I have to go find Lady Babby for the night and put her out.
Hello, John.
I was just coming this way, and I thought, well, I'm coming this way anyway.
Since you were coming by this way
Exactly.
anyway. I'm glad you had him. It's a coincidence, because I just happened to be writing you a little note.
This is a coincidence, because I, too, happen to have a little note for you, too.
What does yours say?
Well, it goes into a lot of detail.
So does mine.
All it says, though, is... sorry.
That's all mine says, too.
I shouldn't have gotten so upset about the trouble.
No, John, I didn't know Tootie were not going to do that. I didn't know if they wanted to kill you.
Oh, I know that.
I'm awfully sorry about what happened to your hair.
What the heck? It'll grow back again.
But still, it must have been painful.
I hardly noticed it. Besides, it'll be cooler for summer.
I wasn't really going to throw the lamp.
I didn't think you were.
And those slaps, they were unintentional.
Anyone else would have done the same thing.
I was a little upset about what happened with Lucille Pentard. Not for anything to do with me, not the least bit. But I just didn't want to see you and my brother make such a big mistake.
That Lucille is a pretty nice girl. But with someone like you around...
I won't be for very long.
Gosh, I know. I was going to stay mad at you for a week or 10 days, but when I heard your family's leaving...
Wait, Papa talks? Looks like you won't even be here for the opening of the World's Fair.
No.
So I thought it's only fair to you to give you back your class pin.
I don't want that. Ever.
It's only fair to you.
Well, I guess with all the new guys you'll be meeting in New York, you don't want to be burdened by someone else's pain.
It's not that at all.
I bet you can't even wait to go. What about our date for the fair?
Looks like we'll be gone by then. Please, feel free to take someone else. Take Lucille, since you think she's so nice.
I don't want to go with anyone else. You do. There's only one way to show you how I feel, to prove.
What?
You'll find out.
Wait a minute.
Actions speak louder than words.
Hi.
If you'll excuse us, we're having a very private discussion.
You don't have to take up the whole living room.
I was just leaving anyway.
Every time I see you, you're just leaving.
Yeah, it seems that way.
We'll have to get together sometime.
Please.
Do.
Excuse me.
Sometime a little later on.
I must be going.
What does she mean later on?
I don't like the way you talk to her.
I was merely being civil. I feel sorry for the poor boy. When Rose has gone to New York, he's going to be at such a loose end.
And when I've gone to New York, you'll...
Please, on.
Here I brought you over to meet the folks, and all you do is...
What do you expect?
I surely am going to miss you girls. The World's Fair won't be the same without you.
Maybe it won't. You think you're being so smart, but a lot of people will be missing us.
I know. I talked with poor Fred Gregory a while ago.
You talked with Fred?
I had a terrible time consoling him.
Let somebody else console him.
I bet you'll hate to see our trade.
Oh, I will.
Well, it hasn't left yet.
It certainly hasn't.
I wouldn't fill up my dance card if I were you. You just better not.
Why don't you put out Lady Belly for the night?
Why don't you?
Yes.
Well, why don't you?
I don't think it's such a good time to meet your folks, Lon. Do you suppose I dare get on a trolley?
I think you'll be safe, so long as you stay on it long enough.
We came especially to meet the folks and...
Whatever you say.
I thought we got rid of you.
Tootie.
What a sweet child. It's not really necessary for you to see me home.
Of course I will.
If I don't see you girls again, goodbye. And don't worry about standing up John and Fred for the big party. I'll see that they have plenty of dances.
She's kidding. She doesn't really mean it.
So, she talked to Fred too. The way she made up to John was wicked. What do you care? You'll be gone anyway.
You're afraid to do anything that will help us to stay.
S? Get the paper bags!
Hooray!
Here, put out the tab.
Now we'll fix it!
I knew you'd come through. It's for Papa's own good, isn't it? When we get through, Mr. Dodge wouldn't even dream about putting Papa in charge of that New York office.
When Papa's boss gets here, I'm gonna jump out from behind the sofa
And bite his leg.
How'd you know?
I feel all nervous inside. I'll go with you. Come on, Lady Babby.
That Mr. Dodge is in for a surprise.
Yes, but we don't want to overdo it. Oh, gosh!
You threw that cat right at me.
I didn't mean to, Mr. Dodge. I was just tossing her out for the night.
She did it on purpose.
I didn't, honestly.
Of course she did. Calm down, Duffy. She didn't see me.
I didn't, honestly. I'll call my father, Mr. Dodge.
I think she did it on purpose. Just like Willy Wonka about these girls.
I've heard you.
Papa, Mr. Dodge is here.
I'll get him.
Are you the one I talked to on the phone?
I'm Rose, but I think I ought to explain.
You don't have to explain a thing. Someone else will do the explaining.
I should think so.
Well, please, you see...
I'm just glad you told me. I'd just like to shake your hand for that.
I couldn't shake hands with you.
Couldn't shake hands with me?
Not shake hands with Mr. Dodge?
Why not?
I can't, that's all.
Was this your father's idea too?
Hello, Mr. Dodge. Duffy, what's my idea?
Your daughter here won't shake hands with me.
That's preposterous. Shake hands with Mr. Dodge, Rose.
Well, you see, there's a very special reason.
Ready, high and mighty.
S and I both swallowed chicken hearts whole, and you see...
I don't.
That's all silly. And if you'd like to shake hands...
No point in it. Just can't understand your attitude. How are you bringing up these girls anyway?
They're being brought up very well.
They might be a little rambunctious, but there aren't any finer girls in St. Louis. Remember what Lily Walkup said. I don't care what Mrs. Walkup said.
Keep out of this, Duffy.
Yes, Mr. Dodge.
Won't you all sit down? Here, have a piece of candy.
Thanks. I had a very disturbing telephone conversation, and I wanted to get it cleared up right away.
Phone conversation?
About you and your plans.
My plans?
There seems to be quite a misunderstanding. Ugh, what kind of candy are you trying to pass off on me anyway?
This was darn good candy, though. Made your jaw.
Looks like rats have been gnawing at it.
I just bought it. It should be perfectly fine.
The children are trying to pick out the creams.
Disgusting.
Oh, shut up.
Yes, shut up, Duffy. Now, what's all this about you turning down the New York office? I thought we had a clear understanding.
I did. I didn't turn it down.
But you're planning to. Not 10 minutes ago, your daughter told me that you were not going to take it.
Told you what?
That you refused to go.
Well, Papa, you see,
Oh, have you lost your senses? What made you tell Mr. Dodger to think like that?
we all wanted to stay here so much, and I just
Then
thought...
it isn't true?
Certainly not.
Then why'd she say it?
It's been very hard for the children to have to give up their home. It's been very hard for all of us.
Well, you'll be making twice as much in New York.
Almost double. I figured it out.
The money is the only consideration of this family.
You should get better control of your family.
I don't see any objections to the way they are now.
Oh, you don't? First, your daughter tells Ollie a lot of insulting stuff. Then she throws a cat at me, too proud even to shake hands. You offer me some rat shoe candy and you don't see any objections.
You've been very insulting to Mr. Dodge.
Keep out of this, Duffy.
You're just better.
If a man can't manage his own family...
Yes, I know. And the little things you mentioned before don't matter at all. My family is very well managed. And they'll do a bang-up job of managing that New York office.
I was drunk last night, dear mother. I was drunk the night before.
Agnes!
And if you'll forgive me, dear mother, I'll never get drunk anymore.
A fine song to teach a young child to sing.
For once, I'm inclined to agree with you, Duffy.
Yes, Mr. Dodge. It's a shocking song.
Agnes, you go to bed.
It's too early.
I tell you to go to bed, you go.
I won't.
Agnes!
Do as your father says.
You can't make me. I won't go.
So this is the way you manage him.
What if the men at the plant get away with that sort of thing?
That's just my point.
Well, they go.
Aren't you making a whole lot out of nothing?
Yes, a whole lot.
Nothing you say. Why? Mr. Dodge, I'm getting out of here.
So am I. It's just like what Lily Walkoff said.
Please, there's nothing crazy going on in my house. I'll solve it, I swear.
I doubt you're the person for the new office. I doubt it very much.
But sir, won't you listen a moment?
I should say no.
And I should say no.
I'll talk to you about this on Monday morning.
Mister, shoot the works.
There. There. Look at me. Look at me.
If you walked into a rain now, you're done for. Get going. I'm in a hurry.
I'll get him in. You're not getting away with this.
Have you girls got completely crazy?
Get the other one. Oh
Don't come in Monday morning. You're not working for me in New York. You're not working for me anymore. Anywhere. Don't ever want to see you again. You're through. You're fired.
Oh, no. Gosh, no. We didn't mean for you to get fired. It's just we love our home and we only wanted to stay here. We didn't want to move to New York.
Well, you're not moving to New York.
Hello, all. Folks, I have great news. I finally convinced the folks.
Convince them?
Yes, everyone. I'm transferring to Columbia University in New York.
Now, before we take a little break, we'd like to ask you 2 more questions from our quiz. Question 8. Which of the following actors did not appear in the film version of Meet Me in St. Louis? Was it A, Margaret O'Brien, B, Judy Garland, C, Mickey Rooney, or D, June Lockhart?
Mickey Rooney.
The correct answer is C, Mickey Rooney. Judy Garland and Mickey Rooney have appeared in many films before, but Meet Me in St. Louis wasn't one of them.
So as many of you know, the popular holiday song Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas first premiered in the film Meet Me in St. Louis. So question 9. Which line follows, someday soon we'll all be together somehow with fate's allow? A, hang a shining star on the highest bough. B, have yourself a holly jolly Christmas. C, until then we'll have to muddle through somehow. And D, may all your Christmases be white. If you chose letter B, you're not entirely wrong.
Frank Sinatra added this lyric to the song to make it have a more upbeat feel? The actual answer is C. Until
That's not true.
Judy Garland sang this song to her little sister, played by Margaret O'Brien, in the film as they were in tears because the family would soon be splitting up for good. You're about to hear this lyric in the version of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas we're going to do now.
final act of Meet Me in St. Louis. But before we begin, our final quiz question. What song from Meet Me in St. Louis was nominated for Best Song in a Motion Picture? Was it A, Under the Bamboo Tree? No. Oh, sorry, I kind of gave that one away. Okay. Okay. B, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Okay. C, The Boy Next Door. Or D, The Trolley Song. Okay, guys. We're not going to tell you the answer to this one. I'm sorry. But we think with the next few bars, you'll be able to figure it out.
Clang, clang, clang went the trolley. Ding, ding, ding went the bell. Zing, zing, zing went my heartstrings as we started on the Chug, chug, chug went the motor. Bum, bum, bum went the brakes. Thump, thump, thump went my heartstrings as we started from Huntington Lake. Right, the air was sweet. The smell of honeysuckle slightly on my feet. I tried to sing, but I couldn't speak. In fact, I felt so much I couldn't even speak. Pause, 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 went the water. Time to all this hard. Time to all with my heartstrings. As we started off at Huntington Park. As we started at Huntington Park.
High up on my head. I want to lose a jolly hour on the trolley and lost my heart instead. With his light brown derby and his bright green tie, he was quite the handsomest of men. I started to yen, so I counted to 10, then I counted to 10 again. Clang, clang, clang went the trolley. Ding, ding, ding went the bell. Zing, zing, zing went my heartstrings. For the moment I saw my friend. Chug, chug, chug went the motor. Thump, thump, thump went the brake. Thump, thump, thump went my heartstrings. When he smiled, I could feel the car shake. He tipped his hat and took a seat. He said he hoped he hadn't stepped upon my feet. He asked my name, I held my breath. I couldn't speak because he scared me half to death. Jog, jog, jog with the motor. Thump, thump, thump with the brake. Stop, stop, stop went my heartstrings. As he started to go and I started to know how it feels when the universe reels. Buzz, buzz, buzz with the buzzer. Plop, plop, plop with the brakes. Words of tongue go, then I started to know how it feels. Shut with my sleeve, as if it were planned. Stayed on with me, and it was grand just to stand with his hand holding mine till the end of the line.
Oh no, he must be out for another walk. It's been so hard on him. Does it feel real? You never think it'll happen to you, and it happens. I don't know what to do anymore. It's been 2 weeks and no call. no idea how much losing a job could affect your family. It destroys them. It destroys a man. It takes his soul and God, I can't go on. I need you.
I need a recheck.
Are you still at it?
They all add up the same.
At least Katie's been doing wonderfully with Susan Ashes.
I don't know if we can afford to keep her much longer, you know? We have to face the facts.
Let's not face them tonight, Lon. The fireworks should be going off in less than an hour, and then the whole wonderful fair will start. Let's go down. We shouldn't miss a sight like that.
Maybe we could see from here.
Mama!
You're a little late.
I was talking with the Iceman. He saw a man get shot.
Please.
And the blood spurted out this far.
Judy.
It must have looked like a fountain. A fountain of blood.
We shouldn't talk about that.
I thought you'd be interested in how the blood spurted out of man.
Not just now, Tootie.
Tootie? You can tell us about it tomorrow.
Katie, I thought I told you to run off to the fair.
I didn't much feel like going out tonight. I made a platter of fudge, and there's lemonade in the icebox.
Let me tell you about the man that got shot.
Tell her in the kitchen.
It was very bloody.
That poor man.
Katie?
Yes, Mr. Smith.
The fudge is fine, thank you.
Oh, cheered me up to be making it.
And, Katie,
Yes, Mr. Smith.
I'd like to speak with you tomorrow morning.
Oh. Yes, Mr. Smith.
It was a drunken man, Katie, and he got shot right through the middle.
Isn't there some way we can put off giving Katie her notice?
I don't know where we can make a saving. I'm trying to keep Lon in college, and the Rose, and...
You've been worrying about it too much, Lon, without Lena. If you could just put it out of your mind for a while, why don't we go down to the fair?
I can't. The phone.
It's not good for you to go on this way. We can't. Come on. I remember when you first took us out through the mud and briars to see Governor Francis drive the first stake through with the silver axe. We were so excited and anxious for this day to come. There was a verse in the paper that night.
The greatest show that ever showed will rise aside the Skinker Road.
And it did, and it is. The wilderness before, and now suddenly lagoons and palatial buildings. We don't want to miss the star, the speeches, the bands, the people from all over the world. You'd feel so much better if you just enjoyed all tonight. Oh, we can worry about Duffy and Mr. Dodge and what we're going to do about the children's education tomorrow, but Lon, please, put it out of your mind for a while.
I'm in a terrible blanket.
You haven't. It's just you try to give us all so much, and now you're worrying yourself sick. Really sick.
I mean, I'd like to walk down with you, Anna, but...
We can't let Duffy and Mr. Dodge take this night away from us, too. You've been waiting by the phone for so long.
But they have to call me back, Anna. They need me at the plant. They think they can go on without me, but they can't. Honestly, they can't.
I know, and they'll find it out.
But what if Mr. Dodge was to call?
Then he would call back again. It's not good for you to go on this way.
Well, I'm not really worried. It's just, I mean, things will get so awful. Sooner or later, things will get so awful that they'll have to call me back.
But it's not likely they will tonight. Not with the fair opening.
Well, maybe I could go for a little walk, if you could stay by the phone.
I could take any messages.
I'll go walk down towards the plant.
Not that way, Mom.
I'll walk to the other side of the road, and I'll stay on the other side. I'm curious, that's all.
Anyways, the walk will do you good.
Thank you. Don't let the children answer the phone.
I'll see to it.
Mama! Papa! The Monitor Arkansas is coming up the river. It's going to be a part of the
It's a grand sight.
Whistles blowing and the people cheering and the women waving to the men and the men waving back.
Any calls?
Not yet. I'll be back.
Where's Papa going?
For a walk. Good idea.
The Monitor, Arkansas is enormous!
Agnes, I counted the bandstands. We counted 11.
Grandma says that the fairgrounds are like her palace grounds in Tiara Land.
Only my buildings were made of marble and set with precious stones.
I don't believe all that talk, and neither does Tootie.
You don't believe that you're a duchess?
Not really.
I suppose you don't believe that your own mother's a princess.
I guess she could be one.
You can always tell a princess about how well they behave when everything's going wrong.
I remember.
That's how you can tell a true princess.
Why? I remember when you first told me that I was one. I was about your age, Agnes, or maybe younger. I remember because it was a rainy day in March and I was homesick with measles.
You were a good girl.
But it's not really true about all that.
Why, of course it is. I can show you my little kingdom on the map in the atlas.
Then show me right now!
I will. Of course. They changed the name when I left because they had to.
What is
but
it
it's still
called
on the
now?
map.
Well, what is it called now?
You can see for yourself. They call it West Virginia.
Any phone calls for me?
I don't think so.
She stood me up. She's broken our date.
Lucille?
She said she wasn't sure. She said she would call.
She may still.
The fireworks will be starting in no time. And then the fair. I tried to get home sooner, but the crowds were terrible.
Why don't you phone her?
I did from downtown. No answer. You can't exactly blame her, though. I couldn't even get her a corsage. And we have to spend all our time at the free exhibits.
That might not be so bad.
You gotta buy something, like a sundae or a soda. You've got to.
I might let you have $1.
No, Mom. That's your money. If it weren't for my crazy sisters, I would still have my date. Dad would still have his job.
If it would do any good for me to jump off a roof, I'd go right now and jump off it.
Who's stopping you?
Lonnie!
The Queen!
He's upset because Lucille broke her date.
Everything that's happened, it's all my fault.
It does no good to blame yourself. There's fudge on the table.
Where's Papa now?
Out for a walk.
There weren't any calls?
If one comes, don't you answer it. I have to go talk with Katie.
I guess I know I'll never be trusted with anything anymore.
That depends on you.
Have the fireworks started yet?
No sign.
You'd see them if they had. The paper said it was going to be the greatest display there ever was.
Have you noticed the crowds? Everyone's smiling and laughing and grinning. They make me sick.
You'd think there was nothing more important than the World's Fair.
I think most people are very shallow. They ought to face life and reality the way we do.
Where's Papa now?
Just out for a walk.
Oh.
Do you think Papa's waiting for a call that's never going to come?
Don't say that!
But what'll he do if it doesn't come? It's been almost 2 weeks.
Maybe he'll have to look into some other kind of work.
He'd hate that.
Mama said anything is better than just waiting around the way he is now.
But he seems so sure they'll call him.
Do you think they will, Rose?
I tried to see Mr. Dodge yesterday.
You didn't.
Duffy wouldn't even let me in.
He's a hateful person.
He stood there grinning like an ass out of thistle.
Rose!
He was.
I better finish getting ready. The boys should be along soon.
It doesn't seem right for us to be going out and having a wonderful time while Mama and Papa sit home and worry.
It does us no good staying in either.
Besides, John thinks I'm half crazy.
And Fred keeps staring at me out of the corner of his eye.
I don't know what they expect.
Most anything, I suppose. You can't exactly blame them. I guess John had quite the time explaining to his folks that he doesn't want to go to Columbia.
Everything I do, everything I say, it all goes wrong.
It's just that you get carried away and you can't stop yourself. So do I. So do Tootie and Agnes.
But I have it the worst.
I guess it's a family characteristic. Grandma says it's because you're the queen.
I wish you'd never say that word again. No queen ever had so much trouble. Except maybe Marie Antoinette.
And she did too.
It's probably a good thing I didn't get to see Mr. Dodge yesterday. I probably would have ruined Papa's last chance at ever getting called back. Somehow, I'd have made everything worse.
I don't think so. Because it couldn't be worse. Sounds like Mrs. Woghop.
Coming to complain. Mr. Duffy!
Coming here is not my idea. Call your father.
He's out.
Don't be high and mighty with me.
We're not being high and mighty, Mr. Duffy.
Not the least bit. Papa's really out.
Have a piece of fudge?
Oh. No, thank you.
Is there any message?
It depends.
Depends.
Depends on what, Mr. Duffy? Won't you sit down?
No, thank you. It depends on whether your father's willing to be sensible.
Papa is very sensible.
Can't say as I agree with you.
I'd like to know what you're getting at, Mr. Duffy. In my opinion,
Rose?
my father is one of the
Rose!
most...
I think you're misunderstanding what Mr. Duffy's trying to say.
All I meant to say was that when your father's ready to be sensible, I have a message for him.
He's ready.
What is it?
If he'll apologize to Mr. Dodge, I think there's a chance that Mr. Dodge will accept it.
You think there's a chance? That's wonderful.
The apology better be a complete one.
Of course. That's all right.
He'll have to admit all his mistakes.
What mistakes?
Rose.
What mistakes do you mean?
If that's your attitude, there's no point in talking
Wait,
further.
Mr. Duffy. Rose didn't mean anything.
We girls did some things that maybe we should apologize for and admit our mistakes, but Papa hasn't done a thing except run that old plant for all of you.
All by himself, does he?
Practically. Rose!
I'm fed up with you all being so high and mighty.
And now you want to see my father come crawling back.
I've had to do plenty of crawling back in my day, and if he's too proud, he doesn't have to come back at all.
He'll never come back that way. Is that what Mr. Dodge wants?
That's exactly what he
Well,
wants.
tell him that if he's waiting for my father to come bowing and scraping and apologizing, he'll have a good long wait.
I'll tell him with pleasure.
Rose, Mr. Duffy.
This was his last chance.
He'll never crawl for anyone or anything.
Goodbye.
No, please. Oh, Rose.
I couldn't say anything else. There wasn't anything else a person could say.
I know, Rose, you couldn't.
We should have called Mama right away.
She'd have known what to say.
It was all so quick, and he made me say that as he did.
I know, Rose. He did.
I wanted to stop, but I couldn't.
Hello, Ida. Was that Mr. Duffy? My, he certainly looked happy about something.
Happy?
He's a mean, jealous little man.
My father says so too. He says Duffy would do anything to keep Mr. Dodge down on your father. He says one more straw would probably break the camel's back.
Duffy got one more straw.
He did it all on purpose.
Did what?
No use even talking about it.
Did I say anything wrong?
No, I did. Always, every time.
Did what?
Never mind.
Oh. Hello, Ida. I was thinking of just calling you. Would you like to go to the fair?
I suppose them seals stood you up?
Me? Come on out to the back swing.
I suppose you want me to forgive you?
I certainly do.
Do you think we should have told Lonnie?
It just spoiled tonight for him, too. Golly, how I fixed everything.
But he tricked you. It wasn't your fault.
I should have called Papa right away.
He'd have known what to do. Rose, what are you going to tell him?
I'd just like to die.
I would too.
This was the chance Papa was waiting for. He's been waiting and waiting, and then when it comes, I feel all upset inside.
I'd like to sit on the back steps in the dark.
I ought to run away and disappear for the good of the family.
Oh, Rose.
Hello, girls. I thought you'd be out. What was all the excitement?
Papa, you're back early.
Couldn't stand to stay away. Any calls?
No.
No phone calls.
You didn't take any walk at all.
I couldn't. The girls say there were no calls.
I've been trying to prepare Katie a little, the poor soul. I'm sure she knows what's coming.
And somehow I just kept hoping. I thought about it, and it did seem as though things were going to get better. But in the end, I guess everyone overestimates themselves. Things gone so bad. I thought I saw Duffy walking down the street just now.
Papa?
But you know what? I shouldn't spoil this time for you. You're supposed to be along any minute.
I have to tell you.
Tell me what?
What is it?
I think I'll go.
No, stay.
I don't understand.
Well, you did see Duffy, Papa.
How do you know?
He was here.
Here tonight?
Just a little while ago.
Well, why did you call me?
We had no chance. He didn't give us a chance. No chance at all.
What is it he wanted to tell me?
I guess Mr. Dodge sent him. It was to give you a chance to apologize.
No, why'd you say so? That's wonderful!
Oh, Lon!
I've gotten so scared I thought it would never come to this. Oh, what a relief.
He should have stayed and talked to me and your father.
He didn't stay. And it wasn't Rose's fault.
Rose's fault?
Papa, I ruined everything. He was just looking for one more thing against you to tell Mr. Dodge, and he talked in such an awful way, and he said such awful things, and...
What, Rose, what?
I said everything wrong and gave him every excuse, and he couldn't wait to rush to Mr. Dodge with it all, and how high and mighty we all are, and that... We'll never get another chance to apologize.
Never get another chance.
Oh, no. Rose!
Not another chance.
How could you, Rose? How could you?
Mama, Papa, it wasn't Rose's fault. You should have heard the way he was talking. She had to talk to him the way she did. He was just hateful and mean.
What difference does it make how he takes out his little spite? What's important is your father's job and his future and all of ours.
I was a fool, and I lost my head, and I did everything wrong that's possible. Papa, if there's anything in the world, I could do anything at all.
Rose.
I didn't mean to cause so much trouble for everyone.
I know you didn't. I know you didn't. That Duffy is something of a stinker. And I know you thought what you did was right.
That's true. I'll quit school, and I'll take a job, and I'll make it up to you all somehow.
There.
There's nothing bad enough that you could do to me.
Listen, girls. I want you to go to the fair.
No.
To put this all out of your head. And I'll put it out of my head somehow. Just goes to show I need a new line of work anyways.
How could we go to the fair now?
I couldn't stand it.
I'd rather you punish me some way.
Here, put up Lady Babby. You sound like you need some fresh air.
Don't be smart. Maybe I do. Maybe I should sit outside for a while.
You better wash your face with some cold water.
After I put out Lady Babby.
Be careful now. Remember what happened last time you put out Lady Babby.
I don't blame you, Papa. I don't suppose you think I'll ever learn anything by experience, but I will, and I'll be so much better. I promise. Out with it.
Oh,
no! You did it again!
That's right. Do whatever you please to me.
But Mr. Dodge!
You've got me for a barrel and you know it.
I've you for a barrel?
No.
Sir,
all week I've been waiting for you to give me a call. Here I am missing the start of the World's Fair. Biggest moment in the history of St. Louis. You've got us over a barrel and you know it.
Did Mr. Duffy send you an insulting message, Mr. Dodge?
Or what was it that I said? I never sent you any insulting messages.
He said that you wanted me to come crawling back in to apologize.
I never said such a thing.
That's exactly what he said you wanted of my father.
He did?
He said that was the only way Papa could come back.
I'm beginning to see. Lon, I'll fire him first thing in the morning. I'll use your phone and fire him right now.
No. Don't rush with it. I can do it myself Monday.
Then you'll come back. You will, won't you?
I don't see why not, Harry.
Oh, thank heaven. And thank heaven you didn't want to take that New York branch office. We couldn't do without you here.
Yes, but what about the pay?
Good point. And you're not going to lose a penny by staying here in St. Louis. Not a penny.
I should hope not. I mean, since you need him so badly.
Good point. Lon, we'll fix it up on Monday morning.
That's great, Harry. But, you know, I still can't manage my family.
No one can. Let me tell you about my family. Say, I've got to go. Now maybe we can enjoy the fair.
My gosh, it's time.
So glad we cleared that all up. Can't tell you how relieved I am.
And how relieved I am, too.
The only thing I don't understand, why you refuse to shake hands with me.
She'll only be too glad to shake hands with you now, Mr. Dodge.
But, Mama,
Hello, all. Rose, we better get going. It's getting late. Couldn't get here earlier, asked the crowds.
Rose, Mr. Dodge asked you to.
John, how glad I am to see you!
Yeah, I am too.
Rose, you forgot to address Mr. Dodge.
Mr. Dodge, you're wonderful!
Well, that's different. After Dash, meet you all later.
All right.
Meet you at the fair.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Dodge.
Claude, Rose, thank heaven. Thank heaven.
Praise the Lord and all the the saints.
It's a good thing you mentioned that salary. You're a good girl.
And what you said to Duffy was only right.
So he wanted me to come crawling back, did he? Well, my rose wouldn't fall for anything like that.
Everything's all right? Better than that.
Best thing that ever happened.
Gosh, could you lend me $1?
Say, we better get along now.
Yeah, Rose, it's getting late.
Hey, the phone! I'll get it!
I never thought I'd feel this way again.
Oh, neither did I.
Hello? Who? What? Oh. Lonnie, it's Lucille. I guess she didn't get a very good date because she's anxious to talk to you.
Tell them I'm sorry. Just can't make it.
I will.
Oh, here's your corsage.
And yours too.
Lucille, Lonnie says he'll be glad to meet you.
Judy!
He says he wants you to hurry down to the exhibit of the Fiji Island savages.
Are you crazy?
He says he might be a little late, but you're to wait right there. Goodbye.
My sisters.
They're not so dumb.
What's that? The fireworks! The fair started!
You can see it all so clearly.
The stars are outlining the colony of the state. Look at that burst! Oh. Gasp!
Mom,
It's still blue!
It started. It's the cream of the world.
This is the best, Anna. Nothing better could ever come.
And it's all right here in St. Louis.
Failed to
Right
say.
here where we live.
Yeah, failed to
All right, Rose, we better get going.
Let's all go together.
Wonderful! I'll come too! And me! And me too!
After you.
So excited. Fair. It'll be wonderful.
I didn't think I'd ever feel this happy again. Not ever.
Wow, so funny. With that in your hair, you look like the real queen.
Of course she does. She is a queen. And that makes you the prince consort.
Your Majesty.
The queen. The queen.
shining.